Alright, what is up, you beautiful people? And welcome back to another Direct Strike Weekly Brawl. I think this week's Brawl is probably the Great War Brawl. Because we have Synergy once again. Synergy makes us spawn all at the same time. Our units cost a lot more though. We're joined here by Farland as well. So I'm just gonna spawn out a few queens. And as you can see here, the Brawl modifier is on the side. Yes, you're not. That's right. That's right. There's 3 stockpile boys. So let's see how glorious this wave is. Oh, it's beautiful. I need to do a vibe check here. So I think, is Farland coming out as Phoenix here? Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, boys. This is going to be pretty crazy. I'm going to get the Hydro Iotic Bow because guaranteed there's a light unit in. Oh my god, though. The only light unit that's out there is just Alarak and his chicken nuggets. Well, Alarak, unfortunately, is facing a lot more opposition than he's used to. His team has, like, done nothing here. But, yeah, boys, this week with the Synergy, it's gonna be crazy. I think as Abathur, I might have to go air, though. I think I can go for an air domination angle. Maybe, but then I lose my AoE. Or should I max Ravs? I think I might just max Ravagers. But yeah, this week's Weekly Brawl is a banger, boys. I feel like some people have requested this a bunch of times on the Direct Strike stuff. Okay, so Farland's gonna go Tech Greed. So I'm gonna go for Bolo-Loaded Baldux and the Potent Baldux. I think I'm just gonna max Ravagers here. We got an enemy Phoenix here. Enemy Phoenix, and then I'm pretty sure. Oh, is that a Zagara? Oh, okay. Well, if that is the case, actually, I think against Zagara. We can't. Like, Abathur's a great ally to have this week, I think, honestly, because he just does so much for his team in terms of support. Yeah, like, queens are okay. Abathur queens are okay. They're not like the best thing out there. But you know, they're better than nothing. They're like a decent healer and everything. I think I'm gonna get some Ravager artillery. I think that's what we'll need. I'll get some more Ravagers here. Although, how are we going to deal with Zagara Splash? I think, actually, we can deal with it better. Because I can just go Brutalist to absorb some of the Splash. And we have so much backline with Phoenix and Nova. I feel like, honestly, this week Phoenix is going to shine pretty nicely, too. If you go for, like, a Talus Immortal comp, I feel like that's going to be very strong. Because normally, I think that composition is a little bit weak when you're not your Talus, but, like, when your guys get jumped. When your backline gets jumped, it's a little bit oof. But yeah, like the roaches here are quite durable. Oh god, we got some big lag. But I don't know what I'm gonna call this week's brawl, but I think I'm gonna call it the Great War Brawl. It's gonna be World War I, boys. The Great War. Oh man. Speaking of which, I mean, it's been so long that if we do have a war, it's gonna be another Great War, boys. Because our tech has advanced so much, things would actually be crazy. Let's see. Swarm hosts, probably not even worth thinking about those guys. Let's go for that. But yeah, there we go. I don't know, boys. How do you guys feel about the Taiwan angle that's coming up here? The China, Taiwan, USA angle. Oh man. Because like America has withdrawn its operational capacity from Afghanistan, which means. Here we go, electric boogaloo time. I don't know, but yeah. And then like, I read like this I didn't really read it. I saw the headline where it was like Taiwan's army had like developed some exoskeletons for its soldiers to increase their operational capacity, which honestly I think is gonna be pretty cool. But I feel like the new age of like infantry warfare is probably just gonna be like dudes in suits that let them like do some crazy stuff. Like pick up a fucking tank and like rip it apart or something. That'll be the end of tanks, boys. Like, cause tanks like were only good because they served as armored breakthrough vehicles. But like, can you imagine if soldiers became the armored breakthrough vehicle? You know, they are the vehicle. I mean, honestly, anime has been like teasing that for like the past like 50 years now. So you know, I wouldn't be surprised. Or is it 50 years? It's probably like 7 years. I'll be honest. Anyways, there's some Scourge coming out here. Scourge are a little bit no. I wish I mean I could get some Vipers. The parasitic bomb stays in an area, so it's just a matter of like sending it out. I thought I was against an enemy Abathur, but I think Zagara is easier to deal with if you got your team to like help you out. But if we don't kill Zagara faster, like, you know, don't make her go to sleep, things could be pretty bad here. We have some destroyers coming in here. I think I can go for a Mutalisk angle, but I don't know. Mutalisks are a little bit expensive. A little bit expensive because I need a lot of them to get them working. But I think Mutalisks are quite lethal against Scourge as well. Maybe not my version of Mutalisk. Like, I know Kerrigan Mutalisks are definitely just gonna clap them. But yeah, anyways. Because I was chatting with a buddy of mine about this like the other day, and it was just like, just imagine, like, because I think like drones are like are gonna become like essentially the next group of combatants. So like, you know, like whoever can like manufacture them in large amounts and also, you know, be able to counter them, or like be able to counter enemy drones, that'll probably be pretty good too. Like I feel like it's just like Warfare's just gonna be like some next level unrecognizable stuff, you know? It's like this, it's like the same sort of technology gap that we'll probably see from like what, like the Napoleonic Wars to World War I versus like World War I to like now, if there was ever a full-scale combat. But anyways, let's just we got some Nova Marauders coming in here. I guess the Colossus on the side will be kind of helpful. I'm wondering if my anti-armor Mutalisk here will be good. I'm gonna drop a fatty men here, and because the Mutalisk should just like shred most of these things. I don't know. I mean, probably maybe get a few more of them. I might be able to biomass. I'm gonna biomass my Ravagers. I'll be honest. Biomass that Ravager over here, and then I'm gonna go for a tier 3 upgrade because I think we could benefit from some Vipers. I'm gonna get some Vipers. Getting Vipers. Enemy Phoenix has gone for like a cheese disruptor build, which I think is actually quite potent against me because all my units are a little bit too close together. But I think in Synergy, it's like a little bit inevitable that your units gonna get a little bit close together. Nova Siege Tank's gonna be quite good. We got some Banelings here crashing against Warbringer, who is gonna just laugh it off a little bit. Laugh it off a little bit. You know? Can you imagine if we're the ones who end up building the Colossus, like an actual Colossus? Oh, Alarak is anti-synergy with the Disruptors. He just like knocked those units back. But yeah, I think if I just go for an air angle here, and I'm just gonna mend those Mutalisk here. Give him that fatty men. Oh yeah, but the Mutalisk are just gonna get knocked out. So I'm gonna get some Vipers here. Yeah, everything being 50% more expensive kind of does suck, but having extra starting cash to start the game off right, that does not suck. I like that part. I like that part of Synergy this week. Because before last time Synergy, it was like you'd have like some extra stuff, right? Like, I mean, you'd have like Aura, I think. Aura Synergy was pretty cool. But this Synergy is, oh my god. They're pulling a detection on us here. I mean, when you're desperate for survival, that's the Phoenix move you gotta pull. You just gotta become invisible. Uh-oh. There we go. Well, he's used the stasis ward here. Actually, where is my detection? Oh, there he is. There he is. Yeah, I'm gonna save our scans here. Let's see, here we go. Because if you save scans, then it'll be okay. I think I need to get let's get some of the, would Ghost be good? Yes. Yes. Feed back his Phoenix. I mean, EMP. EMP is Phoenix, bro. It's done. If you EMP is Phoenix, it's over. Phoenix can't get energy back. Like, you EMP him, it's over. Like, he's just like, wait, where did my energy go? So like, if you're against Phoenix, you gotta EMP him. You can see how powerful the Abathur is. So just get an EMP on him, and it'll be over. It'll be over, boys. You know what? I do think I need more Mutalisk, actually. And my Mutalisks are doing, they're doing something out there. Or it feels like they're doing something, I don't know. Do they have kills? Yeah, they got some amount of kills. Let's get some more Mutas. Get that Muta splash going. My Vipers here with their parasitic bombs and stuff. There we go. Boom. Boom. Oh, we got 2 scans there. That was inefficient. Oops. I think we should probably coordinate our scans a bit better. Uh-oh. Anyways. Evolve our flyer attacks here. And then we're just going to try and, like, mend our way through here. Oh, does the mend not affect the units here? I don't know. We got some detection over here. Oh, Overseer's dead. Now I'm gonna buy another Overseer, boys. Let's get some more Overseers. An Overseer here. I'm gonna get one Overseer at the head of the army, one Overseer at the rear of the army. There we go. This guy's gonna die instantly, basically. But yeah, if we get some Ghosts to EMP, just drop a few fatty EMPs, it's gonna be over, boys. There we go. We got some detection over there. They can see us. We can still see them. Oh, Phoenix did not get EMP'd though. I'm a little bit sad about that part. Okay, let's get some more Ravagers. Let's get some more Ravagers biomassed up in here. Like a biomass Ravager is gonna be a big menace. And Destroyers are basically a no-go for Alarak, honestly, because there's so much splash damage. You don't want to build clumping units unless like they clump at a safe distance, you know. Oh, he's not using his stealth right away. That's very interesting. I'm going to evolve my flyer attacks a bit further. I don't really need to evolve my Ravager attacks, because my Ravagers, oh man, Phoenix just got removed there. There we go. I'm going to drop a little Mendy. I got some more mutas, actually. I'm just getting a little balance between... Oh, is this slot filled with something? There's a Mutalisk in that slot already? I can never tell like where the air units are. Anyways, I'm gonna probably go for another one of these. Oh god, that's where we should have scanned. Well, I mean, they're cleaning us up here, but I guess. Alarak's anti-synergy here, pushing the units back. The name of this week's brawl is Synergy, boys, not anti-synergy. Oh man. But yeah. I'm gonna see if I can just gonna drop a scan here, boys. Boom. Okay. There we go. Oh, he just got EMP'd. And he's getting Vipered. Oh, that's beautiful. I wonder if we could get our own Arbiter. That would be nice. If we got our own Arbiter, that would be pretty good. Alright. Come on. There we go. I guess the Ghost EMP doesn't come up that fast, huh? Uh-oh. I'm gonna get another one of these. I'm gonna get another Mutalisk. And then I'm gonna put down some more Toxicness. Put them down like this. Boom. Boom. There we go. There we go. Oh, he's done. He's done with this Arbiter Phoenix. I guess probably because the Ghost like probably dealt him in, or maybe he has the Overcharge backed up and he's gonna use it to overcharge and push in. I mean, that's a viable strategy. I'm gonna drop a Mend here to reduce the power of that Ascendant. I don't know why Alarak would go for. Actually, going for an Ascendant this week could possibly be like not a bad meme, but also, oh god, Ascendants. Oh god, Ascendants. Yeah, my Mutalisks don't last though, so that's the one problem I've got. You know what though? You know what I don't have enough of? I don't have enough Vipers. I feel like with enough Vipers, I can just make like life hell for our opponent's team, because most of their units are on the ground. I mean, they have some like, I mean, they got Corruptors and stuff and whatnot, but like those things, I mean, I don't know. Those Corruptors aren't really air units, boys. They're just existing. They're just out here existing, boys. Anyways, let's get some more Vipers out here. I'm gonna yank some of those Colossi over. Cigar's Banelings, though. They might. It seems like they're hurting a little bit. I mean, Colossus will help us. We drop a fat Mend again. Oh, he had the big overcharge explosion, but I don't think that's gonna be too helpful. Our backline's just a little too strong here. You know what we need? We need some Brutalisk, boys. We need a few Brutalisk. Man, 975 for a Brutalisk? Sheesh. If you played Dahaka this week, you're gonna have a pretty good time, because everything you eat is gonna be so valuable. You're gonna eat like 3 waves worth of like Motherships or Brutalisks or whatever. There we go. Gee! That wave just got ground to dust. There we go. Pandaticus is probably gonna join us in like the next video, boys. Time to end. Yeah. Of course. Just finishing this one. Is there gonna be a Phoenix coming in? I don't know. Let's see. Oh, it's Arbiter time! Oh my god. That was brutal. That entire wave survived. Sheesh. Okay, I'm gonna mend us up here. Drop out fatty mend on this wave. My Vipers here, are they not dropping parasitic bombs? I don't know. But that Arbiter stasis captured so many units there. It's actually crazy. Okay, anyways, let's go slam down a Brutalisk over here. I left some space for him, just in case I wanted to get one. And I'm gonna go for my Evolve. Because like with Nova, Nova's actually such a great teammate for the energy problems. Manx is pretty good too. Although Manx's units are going to cost so much, but he's going to hit pretty hard. I feel like Manx this week, you might just be able to focus on just like boys. You know, just boys. Not boys, just Royal Guards, I should say. Boys might be bad. Boys might be bad. Boys might just be a little bad. You know, so for that here, I'm gonna get my armor mutations here. Holy! Now barrel through here. We got that big Brutalisk at the front here. He's gonna take a bunch of hits, and then he's gonna go down. I mean, you know, not all bad. We got the invisibility here. Those Void Rays are starting to do a number on us here with the Scourge. I think we're gonna need to do something about that. And by something, I mean they just got murdered here. I think I just might need more Vipers, honestly. Like Vipers with parasitic bombs. How are these guys actually doing on kills? They don't actually have many kills, but that's okay. Do the Needles have kills? I'm just trusting the Needles are doing something. I don't know. Maybe the Ravagers are doing something. I'm gonna drop a fatty mend here. That entire wave is just gonna get wiped because it cannot see. Sheesh. Alright. I feel like I could also use more Ravagers, you know? I can never have enough Ravagers. Here we go, let's go for another Viper here. Let's get our Vipers here. We got the Abducts and stuff, but maybe I should turn that off. We'll see here. Get more Ground Carapace here. I mean, Jesus. What a massacre, boys. That entire wave just got massacred. Woo! We're on their defensive buildings here now. Oh my god, we got this structure overcharge. Zagara's Banelings coming in here, the carriers. I mean, Phoenix offering us a late game fire support, pretty good. Man, alright. I think I might need another Brutalisk, boys. But you can see here the Vipers are just mauling these Colossi and the Alarak Destroyers. But the invisibility is also very potent. It's our turn on the invisibility now. It says enemy Phoenix. There we go. I mean, we still got some detection there. Okay. Boom. Oh, Alarak's on Empower Me. That's going to be very powerful. I'm actually going to gas up here because screw it, boys. This game looks like it's going to go on for a little bit longer, boys. It's going on a little bit longer. There we go. Sheesh. Oh my god. I guess I shouldn't have scanned there, huh? Oh well. Oh man. It's just an invisibility battle. But I think we win this because Nova can just feed back the enemy units. Or EMP, I should say. It's like... Archons can't feed back Phoenix, though. That would be hilarious if they could. Brutalist being saved for later here. Parasitic bombs coming out. Oh, Stasis fielding the enemy Phoenix, so he cannot, like, make stuff invisible. Oh, man. I'm gonna get some grabs in there. Parasitic bombs coming out everywhere. Gonna demolish those guys. I'm gonna go for another Brutalisk, and then we'll go from there. Nova's got that like giga tanky wave coming up with like the Hellbats and also the Hollow Decoy. Also, I have more biomass, so There we go. Let's put some of that down. The Ravagers overall are doing decent. Let's see, how are these guys doing? Got 100 something kills. Okay, okay. Probably could be better if they weren't like vomiting on the Scourge right away. There we go. Let's get another one. I don't want to die. Oh man. Anonymous. I don't want to die. Last quote you'll ever see at the end of the world. Oh man. There we go. Eat veggies. I mean, even if you eat veggies, you're gonna die, boys. We got a big... Okay, all my Brutalists got saved for later. Get lots of rest, and you mean don't go out and party? Man, I don't know. Huh! But yeah. The thing is, like that's what I've noticed. Is like it's rough in the sense that you know that triangle, you guys? Have you guys seen that triangle where it's like social life, work, and like having enough sleep? It really do be like that, where you can only pick two. Cause I tried picking social life a bit more recently, and I was just like, aha, this is true. It is true. The legends are true. Anyways, let's go grab some more toxicness. I could probably place like I don't know, maybe my Brutalist a little bit on the side, because that's where the Banelings are coming from actually. So like, you know, maybe that's not too bad. My Viper Squadron here is just gonna like prevent stuff from doing things. Do I need to mend here? I don't know. I could mend. I could also save my stacks of mend. Yeah, because the Banelings are coming in through the sides. So you know what? I might just position these guys a little bit more on the sides. Like, boom, boom. So maybe like, because I really just want them here to like soak those Banelings, because Brutalists can soak like what, like 15 Banelings, you know, given the right conditions. So yeah, boys, I'm just gonna go for some more of these, more of those. Just gonna keep adding more AoE to the mix here. Maybe I need more Vipers. Maybe I need like something that can deal with all those Colossus. Actually, Vipers are exactly those things. You know, Brutalist coming in on the side. Oh my god. Okay, that Brutalist got one shot basically. Sheesh. Our units are still invisible, I guess, a little bit. We'll drop a men here to push through a little bit. Got a little scan going through. Disruptors are definitely very potent this week. They are causing quite a lot of damage. Boom. I'll drop that scan so we can see. We're gonna go full invis now. Invis upon invis. Yeah, but like the Ravager artillery, I just gotta get more Ravagers, boys. I think that's the secret. The power of Ravager artillery is gonna carry us. Come on, Ravager artillery. Oh god, they're all invisible now. The Phoenix Arbiter invisibility really do be hitting different. Alarak on his Empower Me. That's gonna hurt a lot. They ran out of energy though, so we'll be able to see him. Oh my god, thank goodness the sun finally moved behind a cloud. It's early morning right now, and the sun shines really nicely in my room, which is beautiful for my plants. But unfortunately, when I'm recording at this hour, it is not beautiful for me. I'm just like, I cannot see, because it's like blasting you right in the face. But yeah, here we go. I remember somebody asked me, I think it was like, it was somebody, I think it was Casey. There was a Casey involved in the name. But they were like, what plants do you have? And I never really got back to that comment. I think I'll probably just go and comment on it like after this video or something like that. Or during the process between like when I'm uploading and like getting my videos edited and ready for the week. You know, but yeah. Anyways. But like to answer that question verbally, I have a bunch of spider plants. My friend gave me a bunch of I think they're called Sigoniums or like arrow leaf plants. I don't know. I'm not a I don't actually like name my plants in terms of like the scientific name and everything. I just know I know that one. I recognize it by its leaves, you know. and then that's it. That's all I do. But yeah, my spider. I think this. I have a little cactus that you guys probably might have seen on the shorts, although probably not, because that video, unlike my potato video, did not pop off. So a little bit unfortunate here. Cigar's late game is starting to get to us, yeah, things are just maybe a little bad because of that. I'm not quite sure what I can do to really control this guys. Maybe I should have just gotten some more splash damage through more Mutalisk. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna lean into Mutalisk now. Let's go. I'm gonna lean real heavy into Mutalisk. Yeah, and then I also have a bunch of. I have a Neon Pothos. I have another Pothos actually, but it's like downstairs being quarantined still because I think it still might have thrips, which is a very annoying little insect that like basically gives your plants the bad suck, and then your plants die because they have been given the bad suck. So yeah, I'm gonna see if we can just mend this wave through like all sorts of things. Let's see. Drop a little detection here. Boom. I'm gonna drop out fatty men here, so my. Okay, we did a huge number on those on that Arbiter there. So our single wave almost 2 for 1, almost 2 for 1 there. But yeah, and then so I have 2 Pothoses. I'm probably gonna bring the other one upstairs. You had so much income advantage. There we go. Anonymous is like, I don't want to die, and then later he's like, haha, JK. Oh man, that's a mothership, boys. That's a mothership, boys. Sheesh. There's income advantage, but then there's also defender's advantage. But there's also called, I don't know, the amount of splash from those disruptors and Zagara combined, I think is just gonna like overpower us a little bit. Let's see. I have a bunch of Mutalisks for those things. Maybe I should just biomass my Mutalisk. I don't know. But yeah, what else? What other plants do I have? I have a. I think it's called a Nanook plant. It's like this pink purple looking plant that probably came from the desert or something. And it spreads like wildfire. It actually like straight up spread into another pot that was next to it, and I was like, huh? What are you doing? And then what else? I have this other plant that I don't remember what it's called. I just know its leaves look a little funky. And you can get it at Walmart. And at first it was a little bush, and now it's just like this, just like a bunch of fingers basically extending out. But yeah, I'm gonna get that here. I'm gonna drop a fatty scan here. Let's see, the Vipers are just dominating this, but I think if I get, because they don't really have air AoE except for the Scourges, I'm a little confident in my ability to use, what is it, use the Mutalisk to like just overpower this maybe? I don't know. Maybe the Mutalisk can't do it. I feel like the Mutalisk are just dying a little too quickly, and that Ascendant is ginormous, boys. Oh my god. I just realized how powerful he is. Is that why my Brutalist got like one shot? Because there was just some giga powered Ascendant who was like, BAM! My brain is so large. But yeah. And I also have a ZZ plant. And I have a, what is it? I have a plant that you're supposed to grow outdoors that I have growing inside. I think it's called a hosta. You usually see it outside and like it dies back every like winter if you are in a wintry area. And then it's like, oh god, that's our Nexus blowing up, boys. Ah! Man, I don't know. I think it's just like their AoE is just a little bit too big. Holy. And I have a bunch of snake plants, Christmas cactus, and like this little baby plant that I don't know what it is, but my friend gave it to me from like a cutting. So yeah, let's see. Oh god, I didn't do a lot of damage. I took a lot of damage. But you can see, oh my god, enemy Phoenix's disruptors definitely just carried the day there. Yeah, look at that. I think I really fell behind in terms of damage output. I thought maybe if I positioned these Ravagers a little bit further back, maybe that would have helped. I think maybe like, maybe the Mutalisk were just a little bit of a lost cause after like the first group, first bunch. So maybe I should just kept buying Ravagers. I don't know, boys. Well, let's go to the tier list, I think. Well, we'll see if we can make it work. Let's go. Alright, and we are back. let's get right into it. If you guys have made it this far, here's what our game plan is going to be. We're going to talk about the auras, overall strategy, and then our commander rankings. Be sure to drop a like and sub if you have not done so already. Let's go. So Brawl modifiers, we have stockpile times 3. I believe stockpile starts you off with like an extra 300 minerals each, I think. So you start with like an extra 900 or something, which puts us at like 1.2k to start, which is quite helpful. You know, it kicks the game off right away. And we also have synergy, so units spawn all together, and they cost 50% more. So I think this week with the main overall strategy is you want to pick commanders that have like heavy AoE, like real proper AoE, like just big bursts of it. Or they have a good amount of like CC that they can like, you know, bring out. And I think when you pick your commander, you want to specialize heavily. I say one type of unit, not in like buy only one guy, but like buy all the units that do well in one type of role. So like, for example, like, you know, you can like dominate the ground and like just go for all the units that'll help you win the ground. And then like obviously coordinate with your team, because like if your team needs somebody in the air and you're like Rainer, but instead you go like pure bio, then like that's a little bit sus, because then like your teammates have to cover for you in a little bit. So yeah, obviously there's room for flexibility if you have like some other like, you know, baby utility units, but like you're not going to be able to beat like a whole enemy team by yourself, like if it's like an air presence, for example. So you really got to coordinate with your team to like put a little bit of presence, but it's a good idea to specialize in one thing so you're not all over the place as well. And definitely coordinate any heavy swing abilities, so like Artanis Shield, Vorzun Black Hole, Karax Beam. Make sure those things are lining up together so you can like, you know, go for a bigger swing push maybe to end the game or something like that. So here's how I think things stack up. This is probably the first time you've seen Phoenix up in the S tier, but I really think Phoenix is S tier this week. I want to say this because Phoenix's disruptors are crazy good against large clumps of units, and very likely you will be against large clumps of units. And it's kind of like the Ravager phenomenon, where it's like the Ravagers will drop their Bile Blast and stuff, but like, because with Phoenix the AoE is bigger, and yes, the cooldown is longer, but the damage is more too. And so like if you have them like connect with your opponent's wave like just, you know, a little bit later, it's actually going to be pretty nuts. And also Phoenix's conservators are insane because they reduce damage taken by everything. It's like, I think it's like a 35%, and you can get those shields to last for 10 seconds at like tier 3 upgrade. So first of all, Phoenix makes your team very tanky, and second of all, he drops huge amounts of AoE. And the last thing, I think if you guys saw that with the Phoenix Arbiters, that is so good. You can just become invisible like for your entire wave. And if your opponents don't have detection or whatever, even if they do have detection, you can snipe them with the stasis field. Like, it's over, boys. Like, it forces out scans. That means less minerals. So I actually think Phoenix is crazy this week. And if you get a Talus, Talus is also great because it makes your opponent's units take more damage, right? You can probably just go like, I don't even know if you want to go Immortals this week. You might just be able to go like Disruptor Adept or something like that. And that could just be very good. Obviously, if you need AoE, you'll probably have to grab some Colossi. And even then, like, probably Disruptors might be better for AoE, depending on like what type of units you're up against. Even then, like, I think Disruptors are just going to be way too good. Next in the S tier, I think Tychus is definitely an S tier if you know how to use him properly. So what I mean by that is that I think Boswell this week is pretty crazy with his stun. If your opponents have like a large number of ground units, Boswell micro that stun, you can probably stun the entire wave. And you can probably do it back to back if you have a bunch of Boswells. And then Tychus's Nicar doesn't heal his allies anymore, so like that's actually a little bit of an L there. But Tychus's, I'm just thinking like Boswell and Nux as well can get very crazy, except the problem is obviously Tychus's upgrades cost 50% more. So that's what I mean by you really have to know what you're doing, because like if you slip up this week on Tychus, you're like actually below D tier. But if you know what you're doing, you're like S tier. So Tychus has a lot of potential this week. Next, I think Abathur is also pretty good in terms of like just all the amount of utility he's got, and he's got a decent amount of damage as well. Like Ravagers, I think, are pretty strong, but they definitely seem to pale a little bit to Disruptors, and I definitely need a little bit better positioning. If you can position your Ravagers a little better, I think they're pretty good. Vipers are so good with the Blinding Cloud and the Parasitic Bomb. Like, they will help out your allies' air presence. I think you need an ally to be an air power ally, but the Vipers will really help it out. and then your blinding cloud just prevents enemy units from like doing anything. It's just a better Corsair. And then I mean, queens can help you in like the first like maybe 3 minutes of the game, and then after that it's like there's no point getting more of them because they just die too quickly and they heal for too little. Abathur I think is just like great, like just a tank and support role. Like he fits that really nicely. Like mend works on your entire wave, so I really think Abathur is going to be really great this week. Like he's not going to carry the game by his own damage output, but he's definitely going to help his team out by like just with all the utility he's got going for him. Next in the A tier we got Dahaka. So I think Dahaka definitely plays the tank role very nicely this week, because Dahaka's Ultralisk are gigantic. They're very cost efficient, and he's got Tyrannosaurs, which actually buff your allies' armor. So it's actually pretty nuts, because then you can have some Tyrannosaur +2 armor to like some like, I don't know, like an Aegis Guard or something. And then like those get, and then like there's a Black Hammer next to it, and then like that thing is gonna get so thick. And you can also stack your swarms or your creepers. Creepers will probably be less likely to like work because they cost so much more, but swarm hosts are still pretty good because they have that constant value generation. They sort of anchor the wave in, and then you can just shove it down with Ultralisk. Like I think this week it could be really powerful. Or like Igniter's Ultralisk, you can basically control all the small units on the ground with Dahaka, and like you'll basically have to hope your allies pack a lot of damage, like backline damage, because the control the ground sort of thing doesn't actually do a lot of damage at the end of the day. But yeah, next in the HR I think is Carax. So Carax can play a pretty good job. Like he can do a pretty good job in terms of like in the tank and AoE role. You can tank with the Zealots for like maybe the first early bits of the game. You'll probably want to transition out of that because like your Zealots eventually will just die because they're going to be vulnerable to AoE. But Carax Colossus are going to be really good, especially if you have a lot of them, if you really need to AoE stuff down. Carax in the air is going to be a little bit more sus. Like carriers just cost way too much and do way too little. So I don't think Carax air is really going to be too viable of a strategy, but definitely Crusher ground Carax this week. Be on the lookout for that. Mirages will still be okay. And your beam, I guess, I mean, Carax's beam is boneless now, so it basically does like 3 damage. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's still AoE, so you could definitely use it to like break and attack a little bit better. So yeah. Alarak, I think, is also A tier, but you have to play him for the late game composition with, well, actually, I shouldn't say late game, because like Alarak actually adds a bunch of stuff to the team as well. Like his Havocs will benefit the entire team. You just need 3 Havocs probably with their range, like the Bloodshard Resonance, and that'll make your entire team have +2 range, which is crazy. Step 1. Step 2, when Alarak hits tier 3, he's got that Empower Me. I'm not actually sure if he gets empowered by allied units. I don't think so, but still, Empower Me every like 6 minutes, he's gonna have like this gigantic destruction wave that is gonna wipe out like the center of your opponent's army, probably, because he's gonna be in the center. He's gonna like just boom, hit it for like 300 damage or something. So he's got that going for him already. And on top of that, Alarak makes a decent tank, but you probably don't want to be like tanking as Alarak because your chicken nuggets are just gonna expire real fast. What you'll probably want to do is probably get a bunch of Wrathwalkers, I would say. I don't know. Wrathwalkers seem like probably the best unit to stack a lot of, but maybe to start off, like some Slayers would be helpful. But I think definitely Wrathwalkers would be a good go-to for Alarak. If your allies can keep the front line held down, like if you have like a Dahaka like front line and an Alarak in the back line with his Wrathwalkers, that's a pretty lethal combination there. So yeah, in terms of air presence though, Alarak's not really that great, so you're gonna need someone else to help him out, but his Havocs should make your air units just be better overall. And the next in the A tier, we actually have Zagara. I think Zagara, much of her weaknesses are just like gotten rid of because of the fact that you have so much money. You can just tech all the way up to tier 3, and then you can just slam down Aberrations, or just Banelings. Like screw that, you can just slam Banelings. But yeah, Zagara's AoE is quite potent. And you can probably focus your role on just like wiping out ground units. You could buy Scourge at the end of the day to help out your allies too, but like she just packs a whole lot of explosives, and explosives are really good this week because everybody spawns at the same time. So if you blow up an entire wave and then some more, things are gonna be a little bad. So in the B tier we have commanders that are decently viable, but like they're not bad, but they're not like insanely good. So Haunted Horror's got the Thea Ravens, which will, targeted analysis make things a bit more vulnerable, which is okay. Haunted Horror's air power is respectable. I think Deimos Vikings could be potent if you have enough of them and they're just on the ground using their Gatling cannons, but still they don't do that much damage. It feels a little bit of an oddball, but I think Haunted Horror ground is actually quite potent with Widow Mines and just the Hellbats. The Hellbats will apply dots, they will run forward, they will blow up, they will CC things. And Hellions, like the grenade cars, will also put their like little grenade bombs on stuff and CC units. So I think Haunted Horror ground has got a lot going for them, but it's really fragile. So it's like you can't really be the main front line. You can like obviously augment and support the front line, but definitely you cannot be the only one holding it down. In terms of air presence, I think you could obviously go for like the Deimos Viking, the classic, or you can get some Mysterio rates, be a little cheeky, but I'm thinking that you're probably gonna have less capital ships this week because they're gonna cost 50% more, so they're gonna be quite expensive. So, I mean, you can always sell them back. So there's that. But yeah, I think Haunted Horror's role is more of like a just frontline brawl, rather than like any sort of backline stuff. With Swan this week, I think you can go multiple routes. You can probably go like Science Vessel Hellbat and just like tank and support, or you could literally buy tanks. And if your allies have something to frontline for you, you can use your tanks to be fire support. I don't foresee Thors being like that powerful because they just cost a lot more. Like if you could get like a large amount of Thors, yes, they'll be pretty powerful, but like also your opponents will probably have quite a lot of units already on top of that. And also if there's any Ultralisk in the question, then like your Thors are kind of like useless as well. So yeah, Swan is much more of a support role. I think he can do damage, but he definitely I think he definitely benefits this week from having allies to be his front line, and so he has the potential to do quite well. Raynor is in the B tier because Raynor's kind of a little bit an oddball this week actually, because his bio units are quite vulnerable to AoE, so you kind of get locked out of them basically after the first wave. So he's got medics, which are great, I think, at like just healing up stuff, but he needs someone else to have like a good frontline unit to heal, I think. Because Firebats they don't last past like the 5 or 6 minute mark. Raynor's dollar store siege tanks aren't really that great to help you hold the ground, but they are dollar stores, so you could get a lot of them. But I don't think that's gonna be good enough. And if Raynor's got one thing going for him, he's got his air dominance with his Viking AoE, and he's got the scans, so you can permanently see everything. So you won't get bamboozled by stuff like Phoenix. But he can't really, like, he can dominate air-to-air battle, but like he'll need his allies to help him out on the ground. So if you got somebody who's strong on the ground and then you got a Raynor, then Raynor should just go straight Vikings, I think. And then obviously there's the Hyperion. I don't think Hyperion buffs allies units anymore, which is a little bit sad. And obviously Hyperion costs like an arm and a leg, so you're probably not going to be able to buy him. If you do buy Hyperion, the game is either going to be over and you win basically like the next wave, or like you might just lose before you get there. I don't know. That's the only problem that I got. So yeah. Next in the B tier, we got Stukov. So I think Stukov can do the tanky frontline role with bunkers decently, and he can also do the Stukov tanks and the support role. But Stukov tanks cost so much. It's going to be really tough. You really need like somebody to be in front to really help your tanks get rolling. So not that great. If Stukov's anti-air is only good against like small clumping units. So if you're against anybody who has a flyer that has either giga range or like a large health pool, like a very large health pool, like I'm talking Deimos Viking level. I mean, scouts might actually go down to a bunch of liberators. So yeah. Stukov can compete with other commanders who have like middling air power, but definitely he's not an air power himself, I don't think. But Alexander, if you manage to get him out, could be very potent. If you manage to get out a bunch of Apocs, that could also be very potent. Theoretically, Stukov could be crazy in the late game with his ground presence, theoretically. But do you have the kind of money to get there? That's a little bit more sus. So yeah. So that's where I think Stukov stands. I mean, you could also like civvy spam in the beginning just to like be like cannon fodder, front line, and then slowly transition to adding backline. I think that's probably the best way to go about it with Stukov. And he does have that utility for like the timing push with the contaminate. You can also regenerate his structures. Overall, I don't see Stukov being too bad. I don't see him being like extremely good. So yeah, there we go. Manx, I think I'm gonna put him in the B tier because his Royal Guards are very expensive, which balance it out. But they do have very powerful swing potential. I think you're probably going to use less LMG boys this week. I don't think LMG boys are gonna be there. Like, you'll probably want a few of them. Maybe you're better off with Warhounds, I'll be honest, because Warhounds have a lot more health and they are specialized against mech. So it's like, it's not too bad because you're going to probably face some mechanical units in the field and they deal decent damage. But you'll probably just want to like lean into your road guards, and probably be a mix of like Aegis and I wouldn't say Shadows. Emperor Shadows I think will be very useful because there's probably going to be casters. If you see a Phoenix, you're going to need an Emperor Shadow to just EMP, remove all that energy, right? And I don't know, it's going to take you a little bit more time to stack. I think definitely Manx can be like a damage dealing sort of role in terms of just stacking royal guards or like a little bit of utility. But yeah, you'll probably have to augment your way with LMG boys, you know, nonetheless. But yeah, in the C tier we have commanders who could potentially look like they could be very good, but are held back by various things. So for example, Vorzoon's got great CC. The only problem is she doesn't really have anything to deal with like AoE, so like your teammates better be packing some AoE, because if your teammates aren't packing AoE, you're definitely not packing AoE. So like it's going to be a little bit tough. I think Vorzoon could do very well on a team with AoE, like on a team with someone like, say, I don't know, let's see, what would the ideal Vorzoon team be? Well, you're gonna go Corsairs probably, or most likely Corsairs will disrupt stuff, and then you can probably get some Dark Archons to drop some confusion. So then in that case, you probably would pair nicely with the Phoenix, probably. Actually no, that's a counter synergy if Phoenix goes Disruptors. It's actually a bit of a counter synergy. Maybe you just want to have someone who deals a lot of damage, like Zagara, like Zagara. You know, Corsairs disrupt everything and force the enemy units to run face first into the Banelings. Boom, dead. And then you need someone with good air power to support you. I don't know, maybe like theory crafting here. Maybe like a Rainer? Maybe like a Rainer? Because Vorzoon's Black Hole can capture your entire opponent's units. And then so like Zagara would just blow up everything on the ground. And then Rainer's Vikings would blow up anything in the air. And then Vorzoon's just there to like, you can just have like whatever units to mop up stuff. So I think Vorzoon plays better. But by herself, just like, you know, in a void, like if you're just like stuck with like trying to help like save your team, Vorzoon's not going to be able to do that. Nova, I have Nova in the C tier because Nova's units are quite pricey. And so like if you are leaning into like a single build, like a DFG build, you know, or like just going for pure frontline, she does like okay job, you know, like the Hellbat Rangers are decent. But I would actually much rather have Ultralisk on my team this week, like, because Ultra just can't be CC'd. And I mean, if you're leaning into tanks, I guess that's not too bad as well, because your tanks are quite thick, but they're quite pricey, and so it's like you really have to commit to a large number of them as well. Nova's air power also doesn't really exist, so you really have to hope your allies have air power. Her like defensive drone is decent for a push, but because there's so many units on the field, it's not really going to be as noticeably effective as it normally would be. But nonetheless, it's still not too bad. So yeah, Artanis, I think, suffers from a similar problem from Nova. His units cost quite a lot. Like the units that you really want cost quite a lot. You know, like you probably want a bunch of Reavers this week. And Reavers are going to cost like 700 probably. No, it's like 600 and like 30 something. So yeah, Reavers are going to cost so much. And that's going to really suck. Archons with their Psy Storm, which is really good, is also going to cost a lot. So like Artanis just is being gate kept by the price of his units this week. So you might just have to resign to build like, I don't know, a bunch of Dragoons. I don't know. I don't think that's good. But or you could just like pray to God your allies are going to put out something in the front, and then you'll just spam AoE in the form of like Reavers and Archons. But your shield overcharge is very potent because it shields, well, your entire wave. So he's not all bad, but I feel like just by himself it's going to be a little bit of a struggle. Just a little baby struggle. So yeah. In the D tier we got Stetman. Stetman's got Ultralisk, which is kind of funky why I'm putting him down here, but his Ultras cost so much. They are quite tanky. I mean, but it'll take a lot of time for him to really get rolling and scaling, I think. And his lurkers have potential, but they're very fragile. And the focus strike algorithm, if it's focused on like a heavy tanky unit, it could just pop everything around it. So it's got potential. But once again, the price is going to gatekeep Stetman a little bit. Because his lurkers will cost like 500 something. His Ultralisk will cost 600 something. Versus Dahaka's Ultralisk will cost only like around 400 something. So like, you know, I think it's just quantity this time over quality. Like Stetman's Ultras are quality, but like they're gonna get outnumbered by like decent units, you know? It's like the German army in 1944 versus a bunch of T-34s, you know? Like, yes, the T-34s are like one-on-one probably inferior, but they're good enough. They can kill you. So they just, you know, they just have like 100 of them and you got one guy. You just boned. So I think that's Stetman's game this week. Like, I don't know. Maybe like Banelings could be helpful. Maybe just Baneling spam could be pretty potent, I guess. Maybe I'm looking at this at the wrong angle. But then at the end of the day, like if your Banelings don't like clean up, then like you're basically just a minus on your team. Like your team is basically playing without one player, which is bad. Mecha Corruptors can take care of Mutalisk nicely, but then so can Gary. So I don't know. He's got decent AoE there. So I don't know. Don't count Stetman out, but also I don't have high hopes for Stetman this week. Kind of similar thing going on with Kerrigan, although Kerrigan's Disruption Wave is pretty potent if your opponents are going heavy air. So Kerrigan can lend herself to that. But like Kerrigan's like game plan is just like spam lots of units and then like just meat grinder it out. So I don't think that's gonna be too great because like Hydralisks are very vulnerable to AoE and like that's really like probably your best unit to have lots of. If your opponents don't have air AoE, then you can just go ham on Mutalisk and watch them tear everything apart. But it's highly unlikely that that's the situation. And your Tarrasques are tanky once again, but they're gonna cost quite a lot of minerals once again. So, not the best. But I think Kerrigan will probably fill like a tanky sort of role. Probably rare for her to fill the DPS role. Broodlords can't protect themselves in the air, so unless like you have a huge air advantage, Broodlords are just not a great idea either. So I don't know. I don't see Kerrigan doing too much this week. It's not gonna be easy for Kerrigan. How about that? So yeah. Yeah, let me know what you guys think about the tier list and my like sort of, you know, my observations of who's gonna be good, who's gonna be bad. Maybe there's something I missed, so let me know in the comment section down below. Maybe someone you think deserves to be higher, so let me know. Maybe you think someone deserves to be lower, let me know. So yeah, until next time, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like. I will see you guys later.
The tires, let's light some fires.
Need a light.
They picked the wrong fight.